Hey friends, welcome back to Bubbly Balloon Co. My name is Rachel, and in this video I'm doing an on-site build of a fall-themed, nature-inspired balloon garland. Now, as I've said time and again, this is really my first fall in Tennessee and basically my first fall ever because in Florida, we don't have fall. So I have been loving all of the color changes, all of the foliage. It's just been so stunning and it's been inspiring. I don't know about you guys, but literally everywhere I go, I see colors around me in terms of balloon colors. I'll be like seeing the trees change and I'm like, oh, that's a mustard, that's a burnt orange. Like they speak to me in terms of balloon colors and I just get inspired everywhere I go. So after seeing these color changes for the past few weeks, I've been dying to create a really like natural fall themed garland in an outdoor setting. So I know with the brightness behind me, you can't see it too well, but I promise in the after shots, you'll be able to see the foliage behind me, the creation I'm gonna do here, and it'll all come together. Now today I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. Not only am I doing the entire creation on site, on location, start to finish right here, I'm also gonna be using like the cheapest dual nozzle pump available anywhere. This little pink sucker, I'm sure you guys have seen it before. Now I consider this my backup pump and I only use it in case of emergency, but I know it's what a lot of people out there have and buy. I see that this is one of the most popular pumps out there. So I want to do a video with it so you guys see that it can be done and we can make something beautiful no matter the pump you're using. Now this pump isn't bad. I mean, it works. It's got two nozzles. It'll do the job. The only thing that I have a problem with this one is it overheats quickly and it's not the strongest pump on the market. But for like $20 or $25, can't complain. So I'll be using the pump right here on this banister. I'll be inflating in pairs as I usually do, and then I'm going to be tying those together to create little miniature sections of each color to do a color block garland. So if you want to see how this thing gets made, let's go. Now the main colors I'm going to be using today are all from Tough Decks from their fall collection from 2020, which I'm still obsessed with. I think these colors are out of this world. So I'm going to be going with burnt orange, evergreen, and mustard. Now I am working with a mix of sizes today. Mostly I'm working with 11 inches and a lot of those 11 inches are double stuffed, but I also have a handful of 17s, 24s, 36s, and some 5 inches that I'll be throwing in as well to top this whole thing off. Now we have this beautiful spot on our balcony that overlooks this whole section of woods that we have, and that's where I want to bring this to life today. So what I've gone ahead and done is tied chunks of fishing line along this pole here at about 2 or 3 foot intervals. So I have a few different attachment points here and a couple along the bottom as well. And of course I have more fishing line if we do want to add more attachment points, no problem. As this is coming to life, I can go ahead and add more in, but I've got those for starters. I've got a ladder on standby if I need it, and of course in my trusty apron I have my scissors, I have my 260s, just about everything I might need for this build. So since we're doing a color block garland, I will be working with one color at a time, making a couple of small sections with it, and I can always add on more at the end if I want to. The first color I'm going to work with today is this mustard color, and since there's not a whole lot of workspace here today, normally I would just plop down on the floor, but I'm going to try and do this standing up just to show you guys you can do this in a variety of situations with little space and no space to work with and make it happen anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bag in my apron, and then I will just take out 2 at a time to go ahead and inflate here. Now I just want you guys to notice, these are double stuffed balloons. That pump blew them up with no problem. I didn't have to do any of my hacks or tricks I cover in my double stuffed video. That just blew up instantly. So this pump does work and you can do amazing things with it, okay? Alright, so I've got my first 2 balloons inflated here. I'm gonna go ahead and press on them, let a little bit of air out, give them that beautiful round bubbly shape we love. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cross these over, take the inside balloon from each. Since these are double stuffed, you don't have to kill your fingers by tying both necks, okay, from both balloons. You can just take the inner neck there, the one that actually has the air in it, and go ahead and tie those once, and you're set. Okay, then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take another pair, and we're gonna start to build our garland. Okay, so I've got my second pair down here, and I don't know how well you can see on camera, but this 17-inch is single stuffed mustard, and the 11-inch is double stuffed, and in person, there's a definite difference between them. They'll still look good together, but that double stuff is just, that richness that you don't get with a single stuffed balloon. Now today I'm working with fishing line, and there's not a particular reason necessarily. I do kind of prefer fishing line when we're working outdoors with the sun and the elements. Balloons have a tendency to shrink or pop or whatever, and I don't want that 260, that unsightly 260 being visible. So I think fishing line does a pretty good job at kind of hiding how everything's put together if you use it sparingly. So that's my only thought process on that. But I'm going to start off by cutting off a huge chunk of fishing line, maybe like, I don't know, 10 or 15 feet, and then I'm going to be assembling in pairs today, and we'll go from there. Can you guys hear the leaves falling? It's like a flurry behind me. Okay, now to go ahead and get this garland started, all I'm going to do is tie off one end of the fishing line to one of these pairs here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to at least double knot it with fishing line. I like to be super sure and feel like it's really secure because it is so thin and slippery and it can come undone if you don't have a good knot in there. If you know any particular like fishing knots, things like that, I would say more power to you. Go ahead and use them. I'm a little rusty on those, to be honest, so I just like triple or quadruple tie it, and then, you know, I feel pretty good about that. So that's all I'm doing here. Okay, and you can see that that is, my first pair is dangling from this line. Okay, so I'm going to take my second pair here, put it real close to the other pair, and go ahead and wrap that line around once or twice. And you can push those two together, pull on the line a little bit to really get those nice and close together. Just be cautious that you don't slice any of your balloon necks with that fishing line in that process. Okay, and this is the beginning of our garland. Now I'm thinking of doing like smaller sections in each color of this color block garland, so probably like 3, 4, 5 pairs, something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and inflate a couple more pairs, add them to this, see how I like it, and then we'll go from there. So I think this first section's at a good point. This is 5 pairs, including 2 17-inch balloons, which do take up a lot more room, as you can see. But I think this is looking pretty good. So what I want to do is go ahead and hang this up on that post behind me and put that first section up, and then I'm going to add to that as I go. Okay, so this first section was a good mid-sized chunk. I wanted it right in the middle so I can kind of taper this up and into a little smaller end at the top and then a big old bustly booty at this end, if that's how the day takes me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make at least one more section of a mustard right now while I already have it out. I'll set it to the side and then I'll hop into a different color. Okay, the sun is shifting on me. I'm so sorry if this view is like being affected by it, but I promise I'll give you some beautiful shots at the end. So if you don't care about how this all was made, go ahead and fast forward and see how it turned out. Alright, we're just about done, but this could use a little more detail. So let me go in with some 5-inchers, a few more 11s, and just kind of polish it off. And in the end, this is how she looks. Did I nail the fall palette? Let me know what colors you're seeing around you. Like, if you were gonna make a balloon creation out of the colors you're seeing around you, which balloon shades would you use? As you can see for me, it's predominantly evergreen, mustard, and burnt orange. To be honest, there's a little bit of willow in real life. I could use a splash of burgundy, but these are the main colors I've been seeing these last few weeks. It's hard to beat nature, but I hope I at least did it justice. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. If you've got any questions for me, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below. And hey, if you want to support this channel, there's a few ways you can do it. You can like this video, you can leave a comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, you can turn on the notifications bell to make sure you get alerted when we have new videos. You can also go follow me over on Instagram and interact with me there. I really appreciate all your guys' support, and I do have more exciting things coming soon, so stay tuned. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. You guys, leaves are falling all around right now. It's so magical. I wish you could see and that this stupid glare wasn't cutting out the whole view of the woods, but you'll have to take my word for it and you'll see it in the pictures in the end, but it is magical.